What's up? Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell up above for future uploads, and check out the links posted in the description down below. It's part of the channel. Thank you. So here I have an article from CBR.com, and it says why dwarves didn't turn into Nazgul in The Lord of the Rings. The Nazgul were some of the most fearsome beings in The Lord of the Rings, but boy were they only men. Why was there no dwarvish Nazgul? Listen, simple answer to that one is the Nazgul are supposed to be imposing. It's not going to be imposing when you see a 4 to 5 foot batrobe running towards you. That's not imposing whatsoever. Aragorn would be laughing that off, I'm telling you. That's absolutely scandalous stuff that this made its way into an article. Now they try and use a bit of Tolkien. Of course, this be the same type of site that's promoting the likes of Amazon's Rings of Power, which totally desecrates the work of Tolkien and disgusts and disrespects the fans. They want to talk about this sort of little bit of lore that they want to go in and about. Now, I'll tell you what this is exactly about. This isn't about the dwarves, right? They're using the dwarves. What they are aiming with this article is to soften people's approach, and this is what they do all the time. They are putting this out because it's ridiculous, and people like me and you will laugh at it, and rightfully so. But what they'll do, and this is the way they'll go, I can almost guarantee it now. I'm calling it now. What date is it today? The 16th of the 4th, 2023. They're talking about doing a second season of Rings of Power. They've announced that they're doing all female directors in each episode. Do you know what's going to happen next? They're going to announce that there's going to be changes to the Nazgul, and they're going to make one or two of them. Why don't you just go the whole hog, lads? Why don't you just put in, two of them that are going to be Nazgul, and the both of them are in a relationship or something like that? Go for it, because that's exactly what you're going to do. This stuff has already been greenlit for something like 5 seasons, and they've committed to doing that. They spent over $1 billion on this, and no matter how much they tell you that they're going to course correct for season 2, they're not going to. You can expect more woke nonsense. It's the way they're going to go with it. Fingerprints of people that have the likes of Bad Robot involvement are all over this project. That's something that Nerdrotic has been talking about, and so have other people like Dave Cullen. And again, it's a constant that they're going to do something like this in your entertainment. And what they will do, I'm telling you, they'll say, well, why can't women be Nazgul? And this is why they're starting off with something as ridiculous as a dwarf, because they peel it back and they'll get to where exactly they want to go. The point of the whole thing is this. The Nazgul are supposed to be firm, fearsome and intimidating. They're supposed to be extremely intimidating. Now people would say, well, how come a female character can't be that? I would disagree because of the height that these guys have. That's why Sauron packs on armor and gets much bigger, and he's much bigger than the men. It's to show that there is going to be a real physical difference, and also a physical battle between the men and these guys. Now, this is where you come to a point in time where you say to yourself, Tolkien was way ahead of his time with what he decided to do, and also the way he used it, I think, in The Return of the King is something that will probably come back to eventually haunt him. And when I say that because of the wokeism that they put into these things with what happened with Eowyn and the Witch King in The Return of the King. Now, because that is a male character, and it was said that no man could do anything to a Nazgul, couldn't take them out or anything like that, and she revealed she's a woman and she's able to do that along with the help of Merry. That's why that story thread is important. You now introduce the likes of women into the Nazgul, it's moot, it's done. So this is the type of things that these people are going to do without even thinking into the lore. The other side of looking at this article is this. They talk about how come the men just turned into Nazgul, and how come nothing happened to the dwarves. They're not as imposing, and that's why, for example, in the first book and indeed the first movie, that's why the likes of Sauron along with Saruman make the Uruk-hai, because they're bigger. They're physically intimidating. They're more physically intimidating than the orcs and the goblins. Look at the way the movies pan out. When the Uruk-hai aren't really around anymore by the time they get to the Return of the King, they are taken out pretty quickly, the orcs and the goblins. Uruk-hai are a different beast, literally. And same can be said for the Nazgul. But oh my god, this is absolutely incredible. And they go on into it and they try to use a little bit of lore. And they say, well, the dwarves wore rings and all it did was make them more greedy. Well, if you're going to use lore and the fact that you didn't reference it, I would say this. They dug deep into the mountains. And what happened? The likes of Smaug came and took over the mountain. Caused absolute carnage. Not only that then, but you had the fact that they awoke the likes of the Balrog in Moria due to their greed. It's something that's explicitly stated in The Lord of the Rings. So they're two key characters, just so you know, in Smaug and the Balrog that were awoken, that were aids, that were helping Sauron. You know what I mean? So I don't think an awful lot of these people, if I'm being quite honest with you, have even watched these movies and certainly haven't read the books. That's why these things come off every single time. And I'm guaranteeing you now, I am guaranteeing you, as I said, this is the 16th of the 4th, 2023. You will either hear news or there'll be an inkling of a female Nazgul. I'm telling you now, they'll probably make it the Witch Queen of, of Angmar. Because the problem with that is, and I suppose the problem with the Nazgul in a way, is that they haven't really been fleshed out, the nine. There are obviously the appendices that are related to them, and recently as well too, even in the Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor games, they did in fact make Talion into one of the Nazgul. They had him replace one of the Nazgul that were originally there, and I think that was an initial tester probably to see how people would respond to that. But this is why you're talking about apples and oranges, and also then the ultimate fate then of the Witch King when it comes to the Return of the King. Like, it make that whole point moot then. Now I know some people would say, well, if that's the Witch King, what about if there's a Witch Queen, or what if another one? Yeah, listen, I still stand by the fact that they decided to make things bigger and scarier and more imposing, so that if anyone faced off against them, like, they'd look at it and go, well, that's a very credible threat, because that's the way the Lord of the Rings worked. Until Rings of Power came along and decided to, as Nerdrotic would say, make Guy Ladriel, you know, something that he had a laugh about. But I'm telling you now, probably calling it right here and now, female Nazgul on the way. Probably two of them, probably be in a relationship or something like that, you know. Make no bones about it, it's what they'll do. Anyway, I hope you liked this video. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell up above for future uploads, and check out the links posted in the description down below as part of the channel. I'll talk to you later. Good luck. Make sure you're following me over here on Gab at ninja_knight, and over here on Getter at the_ninja_knight. Thank you.